Hey guys, this is Merrick coming at you not live. And finally, after such a long while, do I have another look at an action figure. Don't worry, there will be a new figure update video soon. Current issues going on. I am moving stuff around because we got to paint in the room and everything like that. So, yeah, no updates until now. Because I got my hands on what I think might be the best action figure that I've gotten in a while. That's under a $30 range and not made by like Mecha and shit like that, right? And this is a new product line, Sonic the Hedgehog by Jakks Pacific. And holy shit, is this thing fucking quality. So, 30 fucking years, like the 30th anniversary Sonic, and we get like, a brand new figure line with like some decent picks. I guess like Mighties like that. And just out of the blue, Mecha Sonic. And apparently they're going to be releasing Omega for the first time soon as well. And I'm like, holy shit. But yeah, look at this box. Like, the box itself is cool. Like, this is like a great Sonic the Hedgehog box since they got like the sort of thing from, I believe it was, Tomy? Yeah, Tomy had that. And Tomy made some pretty good figures, though. More for like the collector's market than anything else. But even so, like, this is pretty fucking nice. Displays all the information, has all of like the important details, multiple different languages, you name it. But no, the main attraction though is just the fucking figure in and of itself. Like, oh, this thing is so fucking beautiful. When I saw this guy, I'm like, alright, let's see what this is. And for a $20 figure, right, what is essentially a play figure, like this old, like the older Star Wars figures, right, could count as a collector's piece just because of all this fucking detail. Look at this. They didn't need to add all this shit. They just did it anyway. And the best part about it is he's got 11 points of articulation. So you got like decent movement with the range of the legs here. I believe they're on a ball joint a little bit, or they're like hinges, which like they're hinges with swivels. If I'm not mistaken. Same for the arms, same for here. You get like some decent poses, but like, hell, they got really fucking good detail in and of this thing. And the figure line in general just reminds me so much of like these old figure lines from like the 90s and stuff like that. Hell, even the action figures of Sonic and the crew use bendy wire for their arms and stuff like that, which, hell, reminds me in general of fucking this guy already. Like, seriously, quality fucking shit already for fucking like, yeah, going into 2022. But yeah, like, just in general, like how like he's got the wheels, he's got red shoes, just like Sonic. This is just low tech in all of the right ways. And even comes with a little spike trap. Okay, it's kind of hard to fix him with only one hand because I have to hold on with my camera. All right, it kind of looks a little derpy like that, but what can you do? Look, you got to sacrifice something. But yeah, and like this is the comparison to the Tomy figures. So we got modern metal Sonic right here. Not a lot of points of articulation. You can kind of get some like good whatever. Very small or very chunky. This guy is like 4 inches from what I read on the box and what I read on Amazon where I bought him. And then there's a classic metal Sonic, boom. And like, literally looking at this guy, I just think like, just look at the fucking detail, like the fucking single eye. Looking at him, I hear Stardust Speedway in my head, and even though he's not a part of that fucking fight, like, it's just, like, screams fucking, like, oops. This just screams detail, and kind of half of the reason why I wanted to make this video was because, not to just point out, like, great new collector's piece from a new fucking figure line that's probably going to be amazing, just based off of this guy alone, but I gotta put him to the back for a sec. I have to point out something very important here. This is a problem when it comes to figure lines in general in the modern age. So, we got an awesome character like Mecha Sonic here, right? This dude, fucking outstanding figure. But he's not Mecha Sonic, Silver Sonic, whatever his name is. It's interchangeable, really. But he's only appeared in one fucking video game in the Sonic franchise, right? And he gets an action figure based off of him. Meanwhile, nowadays, that barely fucking happens. You'll get, like, maybe a weird choice here and there. Like, oh, maybe you'll get, like, Marvel Legends, what's an example? Heavy Metal Peter Parker or whatever, Heavy Metal Spider-Man, right? Where he's got like all the spikes out of his head. It's more of a variant than it is a fucking, action figure. I'm talking more about characters like these. We got, from the Star Wars line, we got like Montross here. Part of a 2-pack. This came out in 2008. Great points of articulation. Very poseable. Has a lot of neat accessories. And if he came in a single pack, he probably would have been like $20 around the time, if I remember correctly. About like $19.99 for a figure, even less if it was in like the standard line rather than like the sort of like whatchamacallit line. But yeah, like this guy is on the same quality line as this guy. And this was 2008. This is a Star Wars figure for around 2008, 2009, 2010, right? Same goes for these guys. But you notice the same go for here. Hermie Otto, another character with great articulation for his figure, came out an older thing. Now, you might be wondering, Merrick, why do I bring out Hermie Otto and why do I bring out fucking Montross? And in comparison to something like this Mecha Sonic figure here. Well, it's important to note that, like I said, the thing they have in common is that Hermie Otto appears in like maybe 2 things. He has like a short story and a book, and he appears in one of the movies in Jabba's Palace. Montross here appears in, I think, 1 or 2 comic books, and he has 1 video game appearance in Star Wars. And both of them get these amazing action figures, right? Now, this has to do with something where it's like, once again, quality of the product versus like, the character used in it, where it's always the same no matter what and shit like that, and modern Star Wars figures, no matter who it is, the same sort of deal. It's important because I want to see more unique characters in action figure lines. Every time a new line is produced, we see the same shit over and over again, and half the time, it's not even that great of quality. Like, hell, I can't believe that this guy is, like, this amazing, because here's an example of Jakks Pacific's World of Nintendo line. Fox McCloud. I fucking love Star Fox. I love this figure just by virtue alone of it being Star Fox. But even I'm like, this looks a little off. The colors are a little too, like, dull, I'd say, for at least for, like, a children's toy store standard. He has, like, this weird sort of feel when you touch him. And, like, once again, Mecha Sonic or Silver Sonic here, right? I feel him. My brain is tricked into thinking that it's die-cast metal when it's not. This is all painted or molded in, like, silver plastic. And not even the type that feels like it's going to turn into, like, GPS from, like, an older Transformers figure or anything like that. But this guy, like, great articulation, like, if you look at him from far away, it looks pretty good. But, like, if you look at him up close, like, yeah, the eyes are definitely, like, those sticker types. And he's got fuzz on him from fucking... He's got a little bit of dust on him. And then you get to his tail, and the tail is, like... Let's be real here. It looks like a fucking shit log. I like this figure just by virtue alone, right? But even I'm like, this is like shit compared to this. Like, it's not as fucking good. And don't get me started on like a Marvel Legends figure. Here's another character I fucking adore. Moon Knight. Is he gonna stand? Probably not. I don't know. But look at this in comparison. This guy feels like nothing. This guy's nice and weighted. Like, this guy's nice and weighted, he's nice and heavy, and I think it's partly the head, and the head should have to say this. The only flaw with this figure, right, I can't get his head to move. I think it has articulation, the box says it look like he's looking at an angle, but I can't get his head to move, and I don't want to risk breaking it. So I might have to heat it up or something like that in order to get it to move, at least the joint. But I might be wrong. There's supposedly 11 points of articulation in this guy. Only criticism, head don't move too good. But other than that, this figure is fucking amazing. Especially, like I said, in comparison to Moon Knight here. Moon Knight feels like he's cheap. I bought him for the main fucking shelf, right? And I just look at him and I'm like, this fucking blows. Like, this is like I think this is like either an older costume or a newer costume. Like, I forgot which costume this is. But yeah, like, it's cheap white plastic. You don't even have a soft goods cape. And this was $20, I believe, when this came out. $20 in the modern age, and then $20 once again in the modern age. Like, seriously. How is this in comparison? And if you don't believe me, once again, here's another fucking, like, amazing figure that should be really fucking cool, but Feels cheap as shit. This is Toxin, I believe. I forgot his name. Yeah, I think this is Toxin. I fucking love symbiotes, right? Give me a big, beefy motherfucker. And why does his chest feel like and he's a little bottom heavy. His bottom is fucking, like, this is all, like, hard plastic down here, right? But this whole top is fucking hollow. Hell, you can even see the seam, because, like, he comes, like, in pieces. You can even see the seam. It's not that, like, it's good if you're looking at him from low, but if you get him up close, ugh. But this is not $20. This, from what I remember correctly, I don't know if it was $20 when it came out, like, in stores. Like, toy prices fucking fluctuate, dude, especially in the collector's market. The collector's market can be a fucking nightmare. But, yeah, this is an example of a figure that should be fucking amazing. I love it to death, don't get me wrong, right? But in comparison to a main character like Venom, I don't have the Venom figure with me, unfortunately, but Venom feels more in one piece, and this is the Venom figure from the movie, I should say. The movie Venom. This guy is hollow! Hollow! For whatchamacallit, and, like, they didn't really paint, like, these too well. Like, the tongues on these tops things are supposed to be green, but Once again, like, I feel like if this came out, like, you know, a while ago, these wouldn't be so fucking, like, you know, cheap as shit. But then we get, like, this guy, and it blows it out of the water. Someone really favored Sega. This character's fucking amazing. This action figure's fucking amazing. Buy this for your collection. Support Jakks Pacific. And honestly, like I say with fucking whatchamacallit, right? Like I say when it comes to, like, Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. There's an anime game that literally, I hold every anime game that comes out afterwards to that game standard because it's worth that standard. From now on, I'm definitely going to be holding a lot of action figures to this thing's standard. And honestly, seeing this guy, once again, I really want to see him return in a modern Sonic title. Like, upgrade him, give him, like, energy projectiles. Hell, make all the Metal Sonics, like, a boss fight. Like, you got Silver Sonic, you got Mecha Sonic from Sonic 3, I believe. And then you have, like, you know, good old Metal Sonic again. And then have them be a boss fight with fucking, like, Stardust Speedway's Bad Future as their fucking boss theme. Boom. Like, seriously. Like the AVGN says, someone really favored Sega. Someone really did. And you know what? I'm happy about this. This action figure is amazing. This is going to be held to, like, every time I get a new figure that's going to be like this is going to be held to this guy's standard. This bastard right here is going to be held to the standard. Fucking, like, I don't have a lot more fucking sealed figures over with me right now, but everything I own going forward, everything I'm going to buy, I'm going to hold it to this thing's standard. And I feel like many people should too, because this fucking figure right here is important. Side characters like this should get figures like this with this amount of quality, this amount of detail, this amount of feel that it's worth the price. This right here is an amazing action figure, and I'm glad to say that this is part of my collection. Merrick out, see you guys.